Good morning. Let's take a look at yesterday. How about that for a correct score? How many times has Salernitana lost 1-2 at home recently? 3 consecutive 1-2 defeats make that 4 now. If they scored first, that would have been a really good angle in today. No, it was a comfortable enough evening for the new manager Daniele De Rossi. But yet another 1-2 scoreline. They must be a bit gutted. They are competitive, but they're not getting anything out of it, and they are doomed to Serie B. Both teams to score in the Eredivisie, only 2 over 2.5 goals out of 3. A good enough performance yesterday. In the La Liga Portugal, both teams turning up. 0-3 or 3-0, 1-3, any other home score. 20-minute rule, anybody? Well, not really with Benfica, but Leo Jabba scoring first. Jabba the Hutt. Get a goal before half-time, get a lead before half-time. So I don't know if you'd have been getting involved in the half-time market here, but that's always an option. Really solid performance, and this is what you expect of these odds. Sporting Lisbon just emphatic yesterday. What a pity that this goal came before the 20th minute mark. Can you imagine? 1-0, 2-0, any unquoted in the half-time score market by half-time. That would have produced something like a 12-1 or thereabouts return. Getafe and Granada, 2-0 lead, 2-0 win for Getafe. Mason Greenwood helped, did he? Yes, he did. Helped by Julio Iglesias, the old crooner. So a good opening goal from Mason Greenwood, ex of Man United. Galatasaray just limping across the line, conceding first, so you had a possible trading angle there. Conceded first, 2 goals, second half. So all in all, plenty of trading angles there last night. If you took them all, well done. Bordeaux and Angers, Bordeaux getting the win. Could be a vital win, that one, in the hope of automatic promotion. On to today. I was suffering last night from a stomach problem. I'm not sure I can stay up for tonight's football. I wish I could, but I've got absolutely no sleep last night again. And it would entail a 2:45 a.m. start for me tonight. I do need to get some sleep. It could be a torn muscle in the chest area. It feels like a permanent stitch. I hope it goes today, but if it doesn't, I'll have to take an early night. But it'd be nice to stay up. Some interesting football this evening. Nottingham Forest and Arsenal. I would be a little cautious with both Nottingham Forest, Arsenal and Luton and Brighton. I think the odds are far too short. And indeed, that's the same story for Crystal Palace and Sheffield United. Despite Crystal Palace scoring 3 goals against Brentford recently, that's not the norm. That's the problem with Crystal Palace. Nottingham Forest are scoring 2+ goals under Nuno Espirito Santo, and Arsenal are going through a bit of a blip at the moment. So I think, for me, those odds are far too short and suggest for me that Arsenal are liable if leading, because the liability will be very low indeed. And we know that Nuno can get 2 goals out of this Forest side. Don't forget, they've beaten Manchester United. They've beaten Newcastle under Nuno. They don't fear anybody. Fulham and Everton is one of those matches you don't research. 2.45 the favourite, but please read the preview there. Luton and Brighton, 1.75 for Brighton. Again, I think those odds are far too short. Particularly Luton's recent 2-3 against Chelsea could be a good sign here. Luton, though, have lost 9 out of 10 matches home and away against the top 9. That's probably why Brighton are such strong favourites. But look at Brighton's scoring recently. 1-0-1, 4-0-0 goals scored recently. 2 consecutive 0-0s as well. That's not the kind of form of an odds-on favourite. But you'd certainly be looking to lay that 0-0 if it's 0-0 late on. Crystal Palace and Sheffield United. Well, what you're going to get with Sheffield United under Chris Wilder will be a hope for a 0-0 at half-time and a hope for a 0-0 75th minute, 80th minute, 85th minute, and then pounce with a 0-1 win. Crystal Palace's only real hope is to replicate that recent performance against Brentford. It was a good win, but it was a London derby. So let's have a look at that recent result against Brentford at home. 3-1 win. Looks pretty good. We've had a couple of FA Cup matches, you can ignore those, and a 5-0 tonking by the Arsenal. Sheffield United are in big trouble. Just not up to it, I'm afraid. Only 2 wins all season. So it's a bit of a stretch to expect them to get a result today, but Crystal Palace have not, at times, been solid enough in front of goal. Aston Villa and Newcastle, well, this is real contrasting form, all based around Sheffield United. Aston Villa have won every single match at home, bar a draw against Sheffield United. Newcastle have not won every single match at home, bar a win against Sheffield United. Basically, on paper, it's winning at home versus not winning away. Something will click with Newcastle at some point. Aston Villa are very good second half scorers as well, and they've been scoring 2+ goals regularly. This could be another woeful performance from the Geordies on the road. We do have some other football. We've got the African Cup of Nations, which I won't entertain at this stage, but Morocco certainly 8 o'clock, well deserving of their favouritism. They are rock solid. The mighty Thailand are playing Uzbekistan. Not fancy today, but they got a good result when not fancied last time out. Saudi Arabia against South Korea. This could be tighter than the odds suggest. South Korea at 1.13 odds can only manage a 2-2 against the likes of Malaysia. Belgian Jupiler League, 1.10 Club Brugge and 1.8 Cercle Brugge. See, I'd like to stay up tonight, but if I'm feeling ill and I'm not sleeping, then I can't do it, I'm afraid. I can't wait for a 2:45 a.m. start. It's just going to be knocking me for 6 again. In the English Championship, Coventry look well deserving of their favouritism against Bristol City. They're in excellent recent form, top 6 as well. No defeat in 9 and is 7 at home, scoring 2+ goals in the last 6 at home. Bristol City do win sporadically away from home, but they're on a run of draw, loss, draw recently. They don't seem to be up for it at all. Leicester against the Swans looks, this odds-on favourite looks well deserved. They scored the vast majority of the goals second half, Leicester, so do watch out for that. They've scored in the last 12. No win in 4 away for the Swans. They have lost to the top 5 away and the top 4 at home and tend to concede 2+ goals against the top 4 and top 5. We do have English League 1 and English League 2. Can you guess why I haven't researched these matches? 2.30, 2.63 the favourite. But Pompey, top of the league, so do watch out for them. EFL Trophy. You'd be favouring Peterborough here today. Brilliant so far this season. Are they playing a lower tier side? If so, you'd fancy them even more. They're playing League 2. So you've got to be with Peterborough this evening. That looks very good indeed. Professional Development League and the Premier League under 23 tends to be full of goals. So that's there if you want it. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 7 o'clock. DBF Pokal, St. Pauli against Dusseldorf. St. Pauli normally have 2+ goals. And Aris Thessaloniki playing Niki Volos. This could be a second leg, I think, because this lot played very recently and it was a comfortable Aris Thessaloniki win. As you can see there, 3-0. So they don't need to win. Just need to avoid a 4-0 defeat. The Liga Ha'al this evening. A couple of odds-on favourites at home. So it's a good coupon. But my only problem is a lack of sleep last night and stomach pain. SPL, 1.7 the favourite and 2.38 the favourite. I'm not going to research the 2.38. Aberdeen and Dundee FC. We can have a quick look using FC stats. This is a way to just take a quick look at a match. Aberdeen are 8th and Dundee FC are 7th. So tight enough in the league positions. 8th against 7th Well, Aberdeen are unbeaten against teams below them in the league, but have failed to score against 4th, 5th and 6th. So we've got a Dundee FC, who they've not yet met this season. They're going to meet them on 3 occasions now, coming to the end of the season. Not the most compelling home form. Dundee FC away. A lot of draws tend only to do their losing against the top 5 away. So they might be given a chance today in what could be a both teams to score match. But I wouldn't be fixating on it too much. Swiss Super League, Winter Tour against Basel. Young boys again playing newly promoted Yverdon. You'd follow the odds here. You'd be expecting that home win. So, as I say, it's a good coupon this evening. I didn't get any sleep last night because of I think it's a torn muscle and kind of a stitch on my right-hand side. And you just can't sleep when you've got these stitches because they're just pervading. But if I am up and about, I'll certainly, I would be keen to join you. But please, hope you can appreciate that I do have to wait up until 2:45 a.m. to do these late kickoffs. And when I'm not feeling 100%, it's a bit of an ask. It really is. Have a good evening yourself this evening. And if I can make it, I will make it. I'll put up a live stream, a chat feed with live stream. If I am there, I will jump on that at about 7:30 for you. But please, if I'm not feeling too well, I'm not going to be there in what is pretty much mid-morning for me. Have a great session this evening. It looks like a really good set of matches, but a lot of the favourites in the Premier League do look a bit vulnerable, particularly Brighton with their 2 consecutive 0-0s. Arsenal away from home, or recently been hiccuping a lot against 2-goal Nottingham Forest. And Crystal Palace, not renowned for their consistency or goal scoring, but they meet a Sheffield United with only 2 wins all season. So it's a pretty good coupon. It's the kind of coupon I'd love to stay up for, and I hope to be able to. So I'll put that provisional chat feed and live stream up, but if I can't make it, I'm sure you'll understand why. Have a great evening.